In a shocking twist, JoJo Siwa defends controversial figure Colleen Ballinger.
She's a genius. She's a very strong YouTuber, and I idolize that.
Sending ex-friend Trisha Paytas into a heated rant.
Why is the adult friends with a 12-year-old?
And ex-husband Joshua Evans exposes his haunting secrets about Colleen.
Some of the eye contact that you saw in the ukulele video, kind of that a darkness in her eye, I saw it all the time.
Let's get into it. Our first story is about a dear friend to Colleen Ballinger, dancer and social media star JoJo Siwa.
If I'm wrong, are you friends with Colleen Ballinger still?
Yeah,
What do you say about that?
I've known Colleen since I was 12.
This comes after Colleen's highly disliked apology video responding to serious allegations of inappropriate conduct with minors, racist commentary and behavior, body shaming, sharing unsolicited photos, and inappropriate content proposals. See our previous report on Colleen for the full details. On September 12th, just a few months after the backlash, JoJo appeared on the Howie Mandel Does Stuff podcast and was the first friend to publicly defend Colleen.
The internet can take a lie and run so far with it, so far. I know Colleen very, very, very well, and I think the work that Colleen has done for the internet is incredible. I think her creativity is incredible. Miranda Sings is a character, is a comedian, and I think that it's very hard to be a character where people are also looking at you as you're a real human behind that character.
To JoJo, the allegations against Colleen were false.
She's cool, you know? The problem is the internet was able to capitalize off of her cancellation, and they still are, and it's not okay because a lot of it is based off of lies, and it
is a scary.
Many people were appalled. JoJo, this is not cancel culture. It's criminal what Colleen did. So JoJo was saying children lied? Really? She's now victim shaming. There is proof of many, many things Colleen did. It's not just one lie. Others said JoJo was a victim herself and would likely realize in the years to come. For context, the two have collabed in multiple videos when JoJo was as young as 14, while Colleen was 30. Hearing of this shocked Trisha Paytas, who also reaffirmed JoJo was a victim.
This defense of Colleen is manipulation working, is grooming working. Howie asked twice if she's communicating with Colleen, and she never answers the question. But I have a feeling this defense is a result of everything she said. She's cool. She was my idol. We've been friends since I was 12. I get loving someone, but even the people you love, when they mess up, you don't need to defend them.
Trisha addressed the inappropriate nature of these types of relationships.
Well, it's not grooming if it's not sexual. But it is. Once again, let's reiterate, an adult having a friendship with a child is inappropriate, first and foremost. And honestly, it should be illegal. What business does an adult have being friends with a 13-year-old? None. Zero. There is nothing. This child is underdeveloped in every single way, emotionally, physically, mentally.
In fact, many older videos resurfaced of Colleen and JoJo's questionable interactions.
You are not supposed to dress when you are dancing, and I can see your entire leg. You drink milk. Yes. You know that comes from a private part? First position, second position, third position, split. Whoa! Did you hurt your tooth?
What's a tooth?
Have you ever taken the pants off and seen what's inside?
In public, no. On the toilet, yes.
And?
In my own privacy, yes.
And?
JoJo was only 14 in those videos, while Colleen was 30. In another video filmed in the same year, a slow-motion scene was filmed of Colleen and JoJo with their chests stuck together by slime. A year later, when JoJo was 15, the two collabed in a Never Have I Ever video discussing kissing, boyfriends, crushes, and body parts.
There's definitely a streak in my panties right now.
Is there?
Always.
Should we get that looked at?
No, you want to look at my streak in my panties?
Not me.
Many people were shocked with Colleen's behavior. Some questioned where JoJo's mother was, while others felt the reactions were reaching. But there was one person from Colleen's past that knew a lot more than everyone else. Not just a friend, but a man who was once inseparable from Colleen. her ex-husband, Joshua David Evans. For years, he stayed silent, but now he publicly stands in opposition to her. On September 14th, Swoop released a nearly 4-hour tell-all interview with Joshua. As we know, Colleen has portrayed Joshua as the villain post-divorce, but Joshua's side of the story paints an entirely different picture. So, what's the truth? Despite being in an exclusive relationship and already exchanging I love yous, Joshua said there were about 3 or 4 times he allegedly caught Colleen being unfaithful, including early in their relationship when he found DMs with another guy where Colleen was allegedly using the same pickup lines she used on Joshua. Joshua recalled Colleen's chilling deceit following their honeymoon. While they were in the romantic backdrop of Hawaii, they chose to leave cameras behind and exchange private vows on a beach. Sounds dreamy, right? Well, within 24 hours, Colleen allegedly gossiped about Joshua to Shane Dawson, claiming Joshua was argumentative and broke things during their honeymoon. This baffled Joshua. He explained their honeymoon was pleasant and there was no fighting. Joshua alleged Colleen would talk poorly about him to others on several occasions, even claiming he was embarrassing to her. Colleen allegedly brushed it off as poking fun. With hindsight, Colleen's pattern of gossiping behind people's back became clear to Joshua.
It's like a sport for her. She's a pro athlete when it comes to that.
Joshua's breaking point happened in 2016. He first had suspicions during VidCon, an event they both attended but had different accommodations. Joshua booked a hotel near the venue, while Colleen allegedly left early to return to their shared home. Someone tipped off Joshua that Colleen invited Eric, Corey, Rachel, and her boyfriend at the time. Yup, Eric was there, Colleen's current husband. Driven by a gut feeling, Joshua made the lengthy drive home, during which Colleen allegedly kept texting him, asking him about his location. Joshua told Colleen when he was 15 minutes away, which abruptly ended Colleen's get-together, causing Joshua to become more suspicious. Joshua described the scene as he walked in. Their home smelled of booze and smoke, and he found Colleen alone on their bed, strumming her ukulele. Things officially fell apart at the following event, Playlist Live. Joshua had a friendly encounter with YouTubers Steve Green and his now wife, Nikki Limo, which led to Nikki allegedly exposing text messages Colleen sent to Shane Dawson after their honeymoon. It turned out, the text messages were also being passed around to other prominent YouTubers at the time, despite the gossip being untrue. In a clarification post, Joshua explained he confronted Colleen about the text messages, and after a few days of sour conversations, she quickly filed for divorce and planned to make an announcement video soon. Joshua asked for a few days to gather his stuff. The last day before leaving, Joshua shared his last face-to-face conversation with her.
As I was leaving, I turned to her and I said, when you're effing Eric in our bed, I want you to think of me.
Colleen allegedly responded, "It's not like that, he has a girlfriend." But Joshua revealed shortly after, Colleen and Eric started a relationship. The fallout from the divorce was nothing short of tumultuous.
To me, I've lost everything.
Joshua said he was slandered, received threats to end his life, and lost the familial bond he had with Colleen's side, all of which drove him to alcoholism and a deep depression.
No matter how right I thought I was, it didn't matter. She's the angel, and here I am, a villain who just wanted a marriage to work.
Joshua said he also received a threatening text from Colleen a few months after the divorce to silence him, to which he responded with her slogan, "Spread happiness." Furthermore, Joshua asked for time to process the divorce privately, but Colleen uploaded a video discussing it anyway because allegedly she didn't want to take momentum away from her Netflix show. As for prenups, they never had any, so Joshua said he remained true to his word and did not seek any assets post-divorce. Swoop also asked about the elephant in the room, Corey DeSoto, Colleen's bestie. Joshua said he never felt truly like he was married because Corey was always there and even lived at their house. Swoop hinted at the power dynamic between Joshua and Colleen, suggesting Colleen held more power. Joshua said comments always made him aware of this, and his parents even warned him before.
They said, this is the Colleen train. You either get on as a passenger or she's gonna leave the station without you.
But he was too blinded by love, so he thought he had to make compromises. Swoop's interview also addressed the current speculation and allegations. Joshua said he met Colleen when her content was not controversial. When her content shifted, he voiced his concerns, but Colleen allegedly ignored it.
It doesn't ever go well when I speak out against certain things and choices. And so I became very complicit.
Joshua admitted to participating in Colleen's videos to benefit his YouTube career and eventually becoming desensitized to the content, which he now acknowledges is wrong, but denied writing or suggesting anything inappropriate himself, as Colleen allegedly didn't respect his opinions to begin with. Swoop confronted Joshua about a controversial instance where two fans were filmed in a flat in London with Colleen and Joshua, where Joshua joined in a group hug, made strange expressions, and even took photos together.
First, I'll say none of it's right. I thought it was funny. It's not funny. It's wrong.
Colleen allegedly organized the meetup in London, and they were originally only supposed to have lunch with the fans, but Colleen allegedly invited them to the flat. Joshua now realizes he should have stopped her. When asked about Johnny Silvestri's allegation that Joshua and Colleen were participating in video calls with young fans 4 to 5 times a week, Joshua explained he only participated in 5 to 10 chats in the span of a year, while Colleen was much more active. He also said he did not create these private chats, but was invited to chat for a few minutes. Joshua admitted he once entered the chat without a webcam and changed his screen name to Johnny to listen in on the conversation. Joshua said he chose Johnny's name because Johnny was an active video chatter.
I look back on it and I think it's creepy as hell that I did it.
Joshua explained when YouTubing became a paid job, it normalized fan interactions, though he now acknowledges it's not okay. As we know, Johnny has been very vocal about allegations against Colleen and Joshua, but he's the only one alleging Joshua is just as nasty as Colleen is. Joshua denied Johnny's characterization of him.
No, not at all. It's just a heavy thing to throw out. I think he takes fragments of truth that are real and he amplifies them almost identically to how Colleen did the same thing behind the scenes.
Joshua addressed Johnny's claim about doing unpaid work by running a Twitter parody account for him, revealing Johnny was already running an almost identical account, so Joshua offered him to run his account in exchange for promotion. Joshua said he never promised money. Regarding Johnny's allegation that Joshua was selling him a fantasy of making it big together someday, Joshua said he was genuinely rooting for Johnny and offered to be a brother figure at the time, but it didn't imply daily conversations. But after his divorce, Joshua lost everything he had, so he had nothing to offer Johnny career-wise.
Johnny, my whole world and career crashed to the ground. Where was I going to take you?
Joshua explained he gave his phone number to Johnny as a mentor, recalling he once needed similar help when he was on bad terms with his abusive father. Joshua said he had older mentors from the church who had his number, and they established boundaries such as not calling at night and only calling for serious issues like family problems. Joshua felt responsible for helping Johnny because
the way he had painted it to me, it was like no one was there for him.
Joshua clarified the coffee date Johnny alleged they went on was not a date at all, but hanging out at a food court for 15 to 20 minutes during Joshua's lunch break at work. Joshua felt Johnny was being misleading. Joshua admitted telling Johnny his sexuality is none of his business and encouraged Johnny not to come out to his parents. However, it was not malicious. Johnny allegedly told Joshua he had immense fear over how his parents would react to the news. So, out of concern that Johnny could have ended up on the streets, Joshua discouraged him from speaking out. When Swoop revealed Johnny seemed upset and discouraged by Joshua's lack of support during that situation, Joshua responded,
I don't believe him. For him to say that I discouraged him because I thought it was wrong or there was something wrong with him is absolutely the polar opposite of who I was then, especially who I am now.
It's also important to note that Swoop interviewed Johnny a month prior and discovered he had doctored DMs revealing an often non-responsive Joshua, twisting narratives in his favor and creating victims without solid proof.
What Johnny has done, in my opinion, has actually hurt victims everywhere.
Johnny also did not provide concrete evidence that Joshua was being predatory.
Now, it clearly appears to us that Johnny has access to his old messages. So why, when I ask for messages specifically pertaining to Joshua, why won't he send me the messages?
Since that interview, Johnny has expressed feeling betrayed and accused Swoop of character assassination on him. He has stopped posting on social media since. Back to Joshua's interview, he addressed Becky, a fan who Colleen put in a compromising pose on stage during her yoga challenge bit.
Someone should have been protecting them. And I could have been one of those people. And I didn't do it.
Joshua had a message for all victims.
It was not your fault. You did not deserve it. You should have always had people to step in and oversee and make judgment calls.
Joshua also spoke about his former fan JoJo Siwa. Post-divorce, Joshua felt mounting pressure to pull JoJo to his side, especially given her past admiration for him and the Ballingers trying to sway her loyalty. But instead, he let JoJo make her own decisions.
I'm not about to try to navigate control over who she likes. I'm not going to engage anymore.
Aside from the major allegations, Swoop confronted Joshua about his offensive generic rap song music video, questioning why it was still online if he's now taking accountability for his past. Joshua said he would remove it, but he doesn't know the password to the 16-year-old channel. Joshua acknowledged his offensive behavior and believes he's changed now.
I absolutely understand why it is offensive.
Weighing in on the ongoing news about Colleen, Joshua stated,
I think this is the truest depiction of her that has ever been seen publicly. Like, especially in that video, the ukulele video, that's a version of her that I know. I know that person. I lived with that person. I saw those eyes. I think everyone has the ability to change, look inward, do the hard work. I just don't think she has ever stepped up to the plate to do that. She cares way more about how she is perceived than what the truth actually is.
Joshua also shared the lasting feelings from Colleen's actions.
Afraid. I'm afraid.
She's never shown me remorse. I don't forgive her, but I also do my darndest not even let her cross my mind.
Still, Joshua didn't have any ill will towards Colleen.
So I feel like I was saying this. I worry about her. I don't want, she's got kids. She's got babies, and I don't wish pain on her.
While some in opposition to Joshua suggest he's speaking out to get back into YouTube, Joshua claimed otherwise, explaining being an influencer makes him terrified because there's a poison in seeking validation. Instead, he wants a normal life.
I want my life and my wife and the job that I love, that I am finally doing so well in my little dog and my little tiny house.
Joshua ended the interview advising viewers of all ages to be careful of parasocial relationships.
Don't seek your validation from a social media person. That will lead to only pain and feeling let down. Value those in your life that truly show up. Seek strength in yourself.
Joshua also shared advice with those who can protect young viewers.
Parents, watch what your kids are doing. Protect them, because these influencers, me included, did not protect them before. And any influencers that might come across this and hate watch because I'm on it, you have an opportunity to make things better.
Many viewers applauded Joshua for his sincerity and accountability. This is probably the internet's greatest apology. The fact he didn't go after her money, didn't air her dirty laundry to grow social media, and just left to heal says all you need to know. Others compared the interview to Colleen's accountability apology song. This interview is the perfect example of the truth doesn't mind being questioned, a lie does. Some felt Joshua's experience revealed even more about Colleen's alleged behavior. This is textbook 101 narcissistic abuse. It still instills fear years later. And with that, every passing moment amplifies Colleen's silence, with all eyes on a long-awaited genuine apology.